military, industrial, civic, and veterans organizations pay tribute to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, sponsored by Western New York's Armed Forces Week Committee, honoring disabled American veterans since 1920. And joining us is Bill Callahan to tell us a little bit about what's going on during Armed Forces Week.
It's a tough one when you first roll into it, but Armed Forces Week has been going on for 56 years. It started out as just a simple celebration in recognition of the many veterans that we have throughout the 8 Western New York counties. And over a period of 56 years, it has just grown in its size. And now when we have a celebration, we have an opening day ceremony, which is this coming Sunday at noon at Buffalo River Works. And that's at 359 Ganson Street in Buffalo. And it's going to be a celebration of, obviously, the events of the day. There will be some very tremendous military color guards there. It's the American Legion Post of the Tonawandas, and I think it's 264. They are nationally recognized for their band. They are absolutely a tremendous band to listen to. And it's a great opportunity because it's usually at the beginning of the program that they're playing and so forth. Presentation of the colors, and obviously the speakers will be there to express their thanks and so forth to the veterans throughout Western New York. But it's not just vets; it's all vets, including the guys and the girls that are active right now.
A lot of history in Western New York of participation in the military. This is a very patriotic area, and this event honors them all, and it's been quite a success through the years.
It has, and like anything else, it just grew. A little bit here, a little bit there. Now we have committees, and these men are so dedicated that each year one of the military armed forces is the host armed force. This year it's the Marine Corps. Next year it'll be the Navy. Next year it'll be the Air Force, then the Army, and then the Coast Guard.
Well, Bill, tell us a little bit about your background. What brought you into this?
Actually, I started in this with the Coast Guard in 2000 when I was working at the Coast Guard, what was then called Group Buffalo, and the commander of the station, or actually the base, asked me if I would do the public affairs work for the 2000 celebration of the Armed Forces. And I said, sure. Well, at the time I was working voluntarily because I was a Coast Guard auxiliarist as an assistant public affairs officer. And I got involved with it at that point. I enjoyed it, and I was the first person to write the proclamation, and then I took it to the 8 county seats for signatures. And it took 2 days of steady driving to do it. But I've done it, and as a matter of fact, I just completed that same trip just over a week and a half ago.
Tell us about your service what you...
I was in the Navy, active duty out of Key West, Florida. I was in the Cuban Missile Crisis from day one. Our ship was a DE, the USS Claude Jones, and it was stationed in Key West at Destroyer Division 601. And when John Kennedy was talking about the blockade, we were going down the channel. We get to the end of the channel and we went starboard, and we went 95 miles and spent 3 weeks off of Havana Harbor. And during that time, we were looking at an awful lot of Russian ships bringing an awful lot of hardware out.
Wow.
It was a very interesting time. At one point, we did get an alarm that threw general quarters, and it was the first time anybody on the ship had heard no drill. And a little bit later on, what it was is sonar had picked up what looked like a sub, and it happened to be a whale.
Oh, wow.
And what it did was it scared every one of us, because to go from just going back and forth and back and forth, I was an engineman, so I was in the engine rooms, to going up to flank speed and then going to full general quarters, and they're saying no drill. You know, that if you're not mindset to that, it could scare you. It could scare you. But everybody got to their quarters, did their job, and everybody was ready to go within a couple of minutes. But thankfully, it wasn't anything that would bring any harm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a brotherhood that you guys share, all the veterans, and that's going to be part of the celebration during
Yes, it is.
Veterans Week.
Mm-hmm.
It's something for everybody in Western New York to get out to.
The thing that I appreciate, and I've seen it more and more recently, is when a person recognizes you as a vet, they thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, for me, it was very awkward because, there are so many who have done so much and who have given so much, and in some cases have given the last full measure. And I basically was involved in something that was historic after a while. Not knowing how close we came to blowing ourselves away, but I feel more attached to the men and women who are active, who are out there and who are standing guard 24/7, and in some cases putting their lives on the line. And so, as I say, at first it made me awkward, but then I realized, well, they're thanking me for what I did, and then you don't necessarily have to be in a war to make sure that your peace and your homeland is defended. And I became comfortable with it. And people are just gracious. They're absolutely gracious.
Well, we talk a lot about heroes in Western New York or in today's society, but this is the chance to get out and honor our real heroes of Western New York. And it's May 1st through May 7th. And if you want more information, you can visit our website at WBBZ-TV. And if you know of any subject that you want to have us cover on WBBZ, Talk of the Town, you can visit our website and drop us a suggestion. We'd love to have suggestions from our audience about topics to cover. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching Talk of the Town. I'd like to thank you for watching WBBZ. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.